What's up, guys? It's Yash here with KeepItTechie, and today I wanted to ask you a simple question. If your internet went down right now, what would still work inside your house? I'm not talking about YouTube, social media, or anything else that clearly depends on the outside world. I'm talking about your files, media, home server, notes, backups, and tools you use to learn Linux. Would those still be available, or would your entire setup become useless until the ISP comes back online? That matters because a lot of us build home labs for control, learning, and convenience. But sometimes we accidentally create more outside dependencies than we realize. We put services behind cloud logins, depend on public DNS, store every instruction online, and assume the network is working because the internet is working. But your internet connection and your home network are not the same thing. Your ISP connects your home to the outside world. Your local network allows the devices inside your home to communicate with each other. If the ISP connection drops, your laptop should still reach your server. Your television should still reach your media library. Your desktop should still open files from your NAS. That is the first big idea. A good home network should continue working locally, even when the internet does not. This is basic networking, not some extreme survival setup. Your router can still assign local IP addresses. Your switch can still move traffic between devices. Your server is still sitting there with your data. The port that disappears is the port from your house to the public. So when everything inside the house stops during an outage, that usually means the setup has an outside dependency that may not have been necessary. The second idea is that local first design is not anti-cloud, and it is not doomsday thinking. Cloud services are useful. They make it easier to access information from anywhere, collaborate, and avoid managing every service ourselves. The problem is when convenience becomes the only design principle. A local first setup simply asks whether the basic function can still happen inside the house. Important files may sync to a cloud provider, but they should also exist locally where they are needed. You may read documentation online, but the instructions required to operate your own network should not disappear with the internet. That is not rejecting the cloud. It is removing a single point of failure. For instance, Jellyfin is an easy example. When the media and server are local, your family can still watch that media during an outage. A Samba share or NAS can keep household files available. Syncthing can synchronize folders directly between systems. A self-hosted Nextcloud server can keep your user-controlled copies available instead of making one public account the only place those files live. The applications can change, the principles stay the same. When it makes sense, the service should remain useful local. What's up, y'all? If you've been watching my channel for a minute, you already know I stay talking about Linux. And if you're looking for a solid, reliable enterprise Linux distro, let me put you on to Rocky Linux. This is the go-to replacement for CentOS, and it's built for the community, by the community. It's got everything you need for a stable and secure Linux experience, whether you're running servers, home labs, or enterprise workloads. And the best part, it's backed by CIQ, making sure it stays rock solid for the long haul. So if you're tired of these companies pulling a plug on your favorite distros, Rocky Linux is where you need to be. And I've covered Rocky Linux before, and trust me, it's worth checking out. So head over to rockylinux.org to learn more and get started. Keep it techie. Peace. The third idea is that the services your household depends on need practical local fallbacks. Start with DNS. People should not have to memorize an address like 192.168.1.50 just to open a dashboard. Local DNS lets you use names such as files.home or media.home or wiki.home. A tool like Pi-hole can manage local DNS records. But whatever you use, local name resolution should not depend entirely on a public DNS provider. Then think about documentation, because this is easy to overlook. If the internet is down and something breaks, where are the instructions? If every network diagram, recovery note, and troubleshooting guide is stored online, you may lose access to the exact information you need. So I say a local wiki A folder or a markdown file or a clearly organized shared directory is enough. Keep your server names, important IP addresses, backup instructions, and basic recovery steps somewhere reachable inside the house. Backups should be layered too. A backup stored only in the cloud may be unreachable during an outage. A backup stored only in the house does not protect you from theft, fire, or hardware failure. So keep local copies for quick access and recovery and an off-site copy for larger problems. This is why a local first Homelab is also a strong learning project. It forces you to understand DNS, DHCP, IP addresses, host names, file sharing, and backups. Instead of installing containers just because they look good on a dashboard, you start thinking about how the system behaves when one dependency disappears. A Homelab should not only work when everything is perfect, it should fail in a way you can understand and manage. Take a look at your own setup. Can you reach your server without the internet? Can your household open important files? Will local names still resolve? Is your documentation available? Can you recover a service without logging into multiple outside accounts? You do not have to rebuild everything this weekend. Pick one important service and make it more useful locally. Then test it. Disconnect the WAN connection for a few minutes and see what remains available. You may find that your network is already resilient, or you may discover dependencies you never noticed. Either way, you will learn something real. Now, let me know down in the comments what keeps working in your house when the internet goes down and what immediately stops. That conversation can help people improve their networks without turning this into fear or overcomplication. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the KeepItTechie channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next video. In future videos, we can build a practical local first stack with DNS, documentation, file access, backups, and monitoring. Thanks for watching. Keep learning, keep exploring, and of course, keep it techie. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.